You need some more put in there?
Hey. Hello. Hello. I'm gonna turn it around, y'all. Hello. Hello. So a couple of updates. I guess I'm gonna start with the one from this morning. So again, I had read a message from one of the other candidates that had said that they had been blackmailed and everything and threatened by some people. Now, some of those people, because they couldn't offer me like solid proof. I cannot mention. Just know that, boy, it's just crazy. I will name these people eventually, though, because I'm just going to find some more evidence on them. However, y'all know how I am. I'll just say, these people are kind of strange. Something's not right about them. Anyway, one of those people were on the ballot, and they did have proof of that. And that person was Mr. Mackey. Now, I was kind of impressed by Mr. Mackey at first, because he had tried to run all the way from Bonner Springs to get to one of the forums that we had when we were running for office. And so I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then he was talking about a guy that he really liked and everything, that they had named a street after and everything. And I thought that was kind of cool. But I believe these people when they say that this man threatened them and everything. And actually, I seen it on a video on YouTube. Kudos to her. She reminds me a lot of myself. She said, no, you're not about to get away with that one. And she sent it to media outlets. And she also sent it, she also made a YouTube video and called out everybody. Now, they asked me not to, because I was going to share that video. And they asked me not to. So I decided not to. Only because I want to keep their integrity. And they have been threatened. Their lives have been threatened again by Mr. Mackey and a sword. Shame on you, Mr. Mackey. What about my key? Oh. Really? Anyway, this family was a little bit upset about it, and Mr. Mackey probably knows exactly who I'm talking about, because I would hope that Mr. Mackey ain't running around here just threatening different families like that. So I'm gonna take it that this was the only family. Hey, Miss Rochelle and Felicia. Sorry, y'all, I need some glasses bad. Anyway, I can't wait to tell y'all who was all involved with this. Just know that parties are involved. We ain't gonna call no parties out, but parties were involved. And they were not like just your regular, I'm going for this party, you know. They were some pretty prominent people in the party. I'm not gonna call those names just yet, but y'all know that I'm on it. To get some proof so where I can call their name and they can't come back and try to sue me for nothing because I don't have nothing. But anyway. Oof. Anyway. So, the other news I had, oh, y'all ain't gonna believe this. So, y'all know, I told y'all I like to investigate things. So, I got to thinking, I'm like, well, if they can't add on this ballot, on this election results, how many other election results can they not add on? Look, these people who are there now were not there in 2017 and 2019. Some of them were and some of them weren't. But in 2017, make sure, I hope I put it on this phone. And it's not on this phone. I know it's not. It's on that phone. Anyway, I can give y'all just about it. So in 2017 and 2018, I'm going down and I'm looking at these races, right? And so the total amount of ballots cast mean exactly how many people came out and voted. That's a total number, and it's usually got 100% by it. These are official results, so they've been counted and recounted, so they say. And they've been made official. Hi, Auntie Gail. Hi, Venice. Y'all, this is so crazy. Anyway, so I'm going back to these races, and I'm looking because I can look at a list of numbers and tell if it adds up to either over that number, under that number, or somewhere right around that number. So I'm going through here and I happen to look at this one set of races, and I ain't gonna tell y'all which one because I want y'all to go look it up. You can get any election results off of the YCO Votes website, and the only reason I don't want to tell y'all which race it is because I don't want them to find out which race it is. Anyway, I'm looking at this race. This race got like 12,000 people in it, but the whole ballot got the whole amount of ballots cast are like 10 and 12,000, and then you got this one race that's like 38,000, and I'm going back looking like, okay, so how is that possible? How is it possible? And I'm thinking, well, maybe they got some extra counties. Maybe it's statewide or something. Maybe it got some. I can't figure it out for the life of me because the precincts match. And see, that's the thing right there. The total number of precincts that they've counted on the top, it has all of that for each race. So say for instance, one district got 10 precincts and another one got 20. Well, the whole county has a certain number. And so this race is a countywide race, just like the mayor's race. And I'm like, so you telling me that like 20,000 more people showed up for this race? And it ain't BPU, y'all. It is not BPU. So you telling me like 28 or 20,000 some people showed up for this race, but not the mayor's race, not the BPU race, but this race. First of all, the total amount of ballots cast mean that's it. If they say 14,000 been cast, then every race should be 14,000 or less. But the mayor's race should almost match exactly. Now, in 2017, that actually, it was down to like pennies, where the mayor's race matched the total number of ballots cast. But this one race, in more than one election, got an egregious amount over what the total amount of ballots cast. I cannot understand how that is even possible. I can't speculate. I can't even figure. Hey, all I can say is God is moving. That's all I can say. Because the total amount of ballots, the total amount of precincts counted were the same as the total amount on the top, meaning the summary report where they say it's this many total amount of voters registered in Wyandotte County. Then it's this many that came out to vote. Then they got their percentages, and then they got the 100% over there. But the total amount of ballots cast is the total amount of people who came out Wyandotte County wide. So if the total amount of ballots cast was 10,000, how in the hell did 30,000 people vote in the one race? 38,700 and something. I gotta look at this phone. If I do, I gotta cancel the live. I should have sent it to the other phone, but I was gonna go live on the other account, and the phone started freaking out, and I want to get on here and get it over with. But it's, remember, 2019 general election, and then 2017's general election. I try to stay with primary, general, because the numbers are quite different. Most of the primary numbers are really low, and the general are, they're not high, but they're higher than the primary. But I had to send that to the Star paper. I did. I had to send it to the Star. I'm like, how do you come up with that many? But you see, what it's doing is it's showing a signature, a characteristic of the election office. I mean, I'm sitting here complaining. Oh, by the way, Mary Geraldton then went on some guy's show, I think named Adam versus the Man or something like that. And I was listening to them talk, and they were trying to explain how they did not get in the general. And Mary is such a sweetheart. She don't want to go in. But I got to give this man Adam a shout out, because he said something that was beautifully said. He said, so basically they found some useful idiots to run. I didn't say it. Mr. Adams said it. But again, if you had no real basis to run, if you did not have any real passion to run, and you just said, oops, I'm just going to jump in here, and you made it through the primary, that's what Mr. Adam was talking about. And it's because there were people in the race who were educated in every aspect of where they ran. I know Wyandotte County, period. But I've been going to those meetings long enough and fighting with them long enough that, again, I have at least an associate's degree in unified government. And it's a little bit more than that. I'm working on my bachelor's now, if you ask me. Then Miss Mary Girl, she's just hands down an educated woman. But her specialty is that Constitution. And that comes in handy. Again, y'all need to go and write Mary Girl's name in. I will be writing Mary Girl's name in. And I pray that y'all write her name. Everybody needs to write Mary Girl's name in. Every single person needs to write Mary Girl's name in, because guess what? I guarantee you she could probably take down BBU by herself. She has support, number one, through her party, through her significant other, through people who are around her like me and others. She has a good support system. But not only that, she does not back down, and she has a backbone. She's not scared to speak her mind. She's not scared to do what's right, and she's not scared to stand up for what's right. And she's proven it through this here, because she was like me, and somebody came into her inbox. No, I'm not doing that. Mr. Coleman, Aaron Coleman, came into her inbox and told her that she needed, why was she doing this? She was embarrassing herself and all of this stuff. And I had to kind of talk Mary back down and tell Mary, like, hold on, wait a minute. Everybody else, like when he ran, he couldn't prove it. When he lost, he couldn't prove that somebody had tampered with the ballots. We have proof, so therefore we have validity. But what happened is the more I got on here and went live and updated y'all, the more confidence it gave other people to come out and say, hey, you know, something was wrong. Something was very wrong. And I feel so sorry, because that family is a sweet family. I feel really sorry for that candidate and his family. Because I think they've gotten it worse than everybody else. I didn't get no threat. Oh Lord, I didn't get no death threats. I don't play about stuff like that. So with that being said, you know, and I'm not saying that person did, but each situation is different, and it was more than one, and they were kind of ganging up on that family together. You can't mess with God's babies. You can't. Because, see, they tried to pick on the people who said we got to look ourselves in the mirror the next day. You picked on people who had a soul. And because you did that, y'all are going, I promise, look at how he's moving. He's just putting stuff out there. Who would have thought to go back and look at the old elections and find stuff like that? And they can try to say it's a typo, but guess what? If it didn't happen 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row, you cannot say it's a typo. You cannot say something's wrong with that. You cannot say, oops, we forgot. None of that. None of that. You cannot do it. I just want to know how they even figured out do they get 2 votes apiece, or like how does that work? For them to get so many more than the total amount of ballots cast. Mr. Mackey, shame on you, sir. Shame on you. Shame on you. Mr. Mackey. Oh, shame on you. You threatened a person's family with a sword, or that person with a sword. Shame on you. Shame. You said because their last name matched somebody else's last name, that means that they belong to such and such. Well, first of all, you had to link them there first. You can't just say, oh, your last name is the same. You have to link them there first. See, we did our homework. Me, Miss Witt, Mary, and all. When we got that KKK book, we started linking them back. Some people, I'm not going to call their names, even went and got on Ancestry.com and paid a little monthly fee just so that they could prove what was going on. Some other educated people in here was Miss Janice Witt, and she was educated on that charter. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it all the time. If it was a personal thing, me and Miss Witt probably wouldn't vote for her. However, when I have to look at all the candidates that they have presented to us, because that's exactly what they did, is they presented a set of candidates, them 4, and then Miss Witt hopped in there. Or no, Miss Witt hopped in there first, and then them 4 were placed. Out of all 5 of those candidates, except for Mr. Duffy, Mr. Duffy is a humble man. Mr. Duffy is a humble man, and I feel like him and Miss Witt should have made that primary, and they should have, because then we would have known that we would have gotten a good mayor out of one of the 2. I also found out that Miss Louise Lynch also reached out to Darren Duffy. Why is this lady going around talking to all the candidates? Who are you? Who are you? I'm just serious. This lady has literally talked to every single candidate. When I spoke with them and I brought up her name and told them that what she had been doing, they just got quiet. Like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. So then they was like, well, if you can send us some proof. I said, shh. And I shot them. And they was like, oh my God, yes. I'm not going to trash nobody's name without evidence and proof. And I ain't worried about her suing me for it, because she know what she did, and I can pull my records up off my phone anytime, whenever, whatever authority or lawyer is ready. I can give them permission. I don't have to have a subpoena or any of that, and I'm glad to do that, because I want them to hear every single call from Miss Lynch, from some other people, Miss Wyatt. I want them to hear all of that. I want them to hear all of that. Everybody who's called me since this has happened, talk about what evidence do you have? None of your business. None of your business. But again, y'all gotta go and look at Waco votes, and on that them 3 slots, little 3 lines, hit that, and this little drop down will come down, and you just want to hit election results or archived election results, and you can pull up whatever years you want to and download them to your phone or your computer, and you can just sit there, and when you're going through anybody who knows that $4 is a quarter will be able to look at this list of numbers and say it does not match the top number. So before you scroll down, make sure you look at the total amount of ballots cast. And if that one of them was 18,000 and some change. It is absolutely egregious for 18,000 votes to turn into 38,000 votes for one race. Now, if somebody can tell me after y'all go get it. If y'all can tell me why it's so much higher with a reason. I mean, like, because if you say that only 18,955 people came out to vote, you cannot then say 18,956 people voted. That would not be correct, because it's the total amount of ballots cast. And that means that everybody who voted that day. That would not be a number over or under. It should be, well, it should be under, but not over. Definitely not over. And 38,000 is a whole lot over 18,000 or 10,000. Now, I just may post them because at this point the media is hot on it. I should be hearing from the ACLU soon. I also got a couple of civil rights lawyers that I'll be reaching out to soon. I also had some other people checking on things. I've also filed those complaints. So I'm basically just waiting it out and seeing what's going to happen. But I feel optimistic about what's going to happen. I feel that a domino will drop. It will drop out of this. And I cannot stress this enough. Michael Abbott. If you know something, you better say something. Because if you think that you're not going to jail for the whoever behind it, they will sacrifice your little young self real quick, because you've already admitted to breaking the law when you said that you released that stuff early. And Mr. Casco made sure to let me know that. So with that being said, you are the sacrifice son. You're still young and got a whole lot of life left up. You better go and do what's right. Because if you do not, what is going to happen is you will be that sacrifice. You will be the one trying not to drop your soap, while these rich people are sitting out here laughing at you. And I feel so sorry for you. But I'm going to tell you this. The safest place to be is in the light. When darkness is behind you, the safest place to be is in the light, Mr. Abbott. So with that being said, the sooner you get your story in the light, the safer you'll be. Now, you might not have that job, but do you really think that that job is the best for you? Because look at all this crap that is going on right now because of it. Now, again, this is why they put people in those places who will listen to what they want them to say. And I am going to read the message that I had read earlier, but my live had to get cut short because Doug Spangler called me and gave me some other really good information. He said that Albie's brother was in that FBI unit cleaning out Gillespie stuff. But you know that. You know that. That is why Andrew Alvey left the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department and went over to the integrity, that governmental integrity unit that was over Wyandotte County. And he did this in the early 2000s when all of this stuff was starting to build up. So it stands a good reason and chance that he went over there for that purpose, because he didn't go over there and get a field job. He went over there and ran the government integrity unit. Hello. He went over there and ran that unit. And now that they sent one of the lady who really was caring about this case, they sent her all the way to California and replaced him with another guy who I feel like don't care. And I told him so. His response to me was, if I have anything to report about an officer messing with a kid or anything like that, just go and report it to my local PD. Yeah. Don't worry, that story's coming later, because I'm going to name names and all of that, and I don't care. They'll probably try to do some crap. But since you want to play like that, sir, we're going to play the game. I got something else to do right now, though. So I'm going to focus on this first, and as soon as this election stuff is over, y'all going to get y'all a good live about that Gillespie case as it pertains to the FBI. Yes. I'm trying to think of what else I was supposed to tell y'all today, because I did get a call out the other Doug Spangler stuff. Let me see. What else did he say? He said that, yeah, I better not say that, because I don't want him to end up somewhere. If y'all inbox me to want to know what he say, I will definitely tell y'all. But I'm definitely really not going to just put that out on live, because this live might share a few times, and I don't want to get in the wrong hands, and then he'll have an accidental suicide somewhere because he said something. Because he definitely incriminated some people. But he wasn't talking about this election. He was like, I don't know about that election, CC. But I can tell you about Galuski and David Alvey's brother. All it takes is one person who's brave enough to say something, when it just causes a chain reaction. And I'm glad. Bit by bit, we shining on the light. I can't wait to go to that Adam versus the Man show, because that dude say whatever he wants to, and whenever I go, I promise I'm gonna share that video, because I'm gonna go in and I'm taking all my evidence and I'm gonna put it out. I want to put it on paper, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. I might give me a iPad or something and put it on there so that I can show y'all while I'm on here, or show what I'm talking about, because I want it to be a lesson on this math thing where y'all can, where you will know that I know what I'm doing as it pertains to this math, because those numbers don't add up. And then when I went back and looked at those old ones, oh Lord. And I'm just saying, you can try to go back and try to fix it, but I already downloaded it. So even if you try to clear that up, like, it's literally a characteristic of our election office to jack up the numbers on certain races, and to jack them down apparently on certain races. I love how the other contestants who made it through or the candidates that made it through the primary find it so easy to ignore what's going on. Well, guess what? I'm gonna repeat what Mr. Owens said. Everybody in that race, even the winners, should be worried, because guess what happens? The general. Now, if y'all had made it through the general already, then maybe he wouldn't be saying that. But y'all still got to go through the general. And I'm not knocking nobody, but ain't none of y'all got enough to go up against any of them. They've been doing this forever. Mike Cain been in there. This will be his 5th term. He'll be in there 20 years. And he done already admitted that when Doug Bach bring him a contract to sign, he don't read nothing. Bye-bye. We need somebody who can read and comprehend. Because he shouldn't just bring you a contract. Your job is to read it and make sure that it is what the people want. It benefits us as well as whoever the contract is for. But all the contracts that y'all make are beneficial to the big people and just pressure the little people down, crush us down, and leave us with nothing basically, but to go to Walmart when we retire so we can pay BPU. No, I cannot wait to go to this show. I'm going to read my emails and see if they didn't reach back out to me with a date. I'm excited because I am going to make sure that I let y'all know ahead of time what date is going to show on. His show comes on YouTube, so y'all can pull it up, but I will definitely show the video because I'm going to be very truthful in that one. Y'all probably will not be surprised how I run in 2023, but just know that if I've been blunt in 2021, you better be ready for 2023, because I'm going to tell it exactly how it is. I'm not going to mince my words or any of that. And they say that, oh, you shouldn't do that and you got to be likable. I'm likable to people who are likable to me. And I can get along with anybody. But when you're disrespectful and you're using the whole community, including me, my family, friends, and everybody else here, I don't feel the need to be nice to you. You're not nice. That's just the way I feel about that. Why should I be nice to a set of people who so openly say F you, but your family doing okay? You put a $27.2 million jail down here on 7th Street, then turned around and took your daughter out of Sumner, which is on 8th Street, and moved her to a $10,000 a semester school. Now, this young lady tried to get on Miss Witt's page and say it was her choice. But, again, she's a child, so how was it her choice? She couldn't enroll herself. Now, understand, at that time, Sumner ranked number 50 in the nation. It's best schools. And you went from there to a private school, Catholic school, that was $10,000 per semester. So about $40,000 a year. Now, he say it wasn't on our dime, but how will we really know? How do we really know that the people have not paid for how many every year she's been at that school now? Because this happened in 2019. I don't know if she graduated in 2020 or 2019. I don't even know. I know she was a teenager. I don't really know her name, and I don't believe in calling kids out like that. I don't know if she's grown now or not, because after that incident, they didn't show, she didn't come out in public like that and say much after that, because basically people told her, you are a child and stay in a child's place, and if your parents want to get on here and say something, they're more than welcome to do so, because that's who should be speaking for you anyway, because you're a child. And I agree with that. I tell my kids to stay in a child's place. And if you feel like an adult done something wrong to you, please let me know, because it's my job and I take pleasure in doing my job as it pertains to being a mama and a community advocate. Because I just feel like sometimes I'm some of the community members' mamas too. And not that in a bad way, but some of the community members got other stuff to do, like pay BPU and can't make it up to the meetings. Well, I'm sorry, and I'm not saying that other people should think this, but I feel like BPU is important. Those meetings, because they're not televised and you won't know what they say if you're not there. If you don't show up, you won't know. And we've requested them to televise it, but they won't televise it because it tells you how much money flows through that bad boy on budget day. And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous how much money rolls through BPU, and then they cut off our stuff for pennies and nickels and dimes. $1 here. Y'all don't know how bad that right there, the blood pressure goes up when I talk about BPU, because they're supposed to be a non-for-profit. Non-for-profits are supposed to help people, period. And they don't help anybody but themselves. And it proves it with the $80,000 raise that Bill Johnson got while he was sitting at home. Oh yeah, I can't wait. I ain't gonna lie, I cannot wait. I'm gonna advocate for Bill Johnson to be gone, fired, bye-bye. Doug Bach, I'm gonna be up there in y'all face every time I turn around to hold y'all accountable. I want to know what you're signing. I have the right to read a contract. I shouldn't have to request it through Next Request or any other of that. I should be able to come up there and read your contract while y'all getting ready to get it signed, since obviously Mike Cain feels like all he has to do is sign it because he trusts Doug Bach that much. Or either scared, one of the two. I'm neither. I don't trust him and I'm not afraid of him. And I think that you should be reading anything given to you by Doug Bach as it pertains to a contract where the people will be getting robbed, the taxes are going up or whatever. We should be involved in everything that our money is involved in. And I mean everything. Everything that our money touches, we should be involved in. And I think that most of that we should have a vote, a literal vote for. And the majority wins, period, point blank, whatever it is. And say, for instance, we want to do Indian Springs. Y'all come up with 2 or 3 different things that can go there. You put it on the ballot for a vote. And when they vote for it, the majority wins. That's how everything that our money touches should be dealt with. You shouldn't say, we can't engage the community. No, there's a certain portion of the community that comes out and votes no matter what. And if that's the only people who are going to put their input in on it, then that's enough. Because this year it was supposed to be 12,000. But Mr. Darren Duffy says statistics show about 20,000 people came out. I believe it. I believe it, and I'm going to tell you why. They had to work too hard to cover up this vote. They had to work too hard. Them numbers are toe back. Like on the other ones, honey, them numbers was almost pristine until you got to that one race. The rest of them was almost to the T. There was some that was like 1 and 2 out, but I'm not a nitpicker. But that one race, yeah, y'all need to go through there. I had my calculator and everything just a second, do it myself. I'm like, okay, I know I ain't tripping. But you can physically see that that's more than 18,000 votes. They know we don't check. They knew we don't hold them accountable. They know we don't go behind them. And that's why they were able to pull that one off. And that's how they were able to get away with it twice. But I just don't even understand why. Like, literally. I'm going to tell y'all, one race was USD 500 one time. They had a higher number of votes than. And I'm like, well, the USD 500 don't even go over to Turner, Bonner, or Edwardsville. So how in the heck? That ain't a countywide race. It's just a USD 500 race. Meaning, if your child goes or would go to USD 500, then they would be on your ballot. Being that Bonner, Edwardsville, and Turner, and Piper have their own school district, those would not be included. So how in the heck do they even got? They shouldn't even have as many as the mayor's race or any at-large position, because it's not at-large. Y'all, I'm still gonna be going through stuff. I can't wait to go through this show. I swear, I'm so excited about this show. I watched Ned and Mary on this show, and they had the freedom to say what they wanted to say, and they had the education to back it up. And even if they did not, even they do, but the other guy, Mr. Adam, he was right on it. Right on it. They're about that Constitution, and I can agree with that. I can support that. Because it's a foundation to start on. Kind of like the 10 Commandments. It's a foundation to start on. That foundation is our Constitution. Our Constitution says we have the right to freedom, liberties, and all of that. And I want mine. I want all of mine. And most of all, I want my vote. I want my right to vote. Unopposed, uninfringed. I want my vote. I feel like voting is the freest form of the free world to me. And it's because I have the right to vote for my homegirl, or my child, or a stranger who is just nice. I can vote for whoever I want to, and you can too. You can vote for who you feel like will represent you. But if they are lying and messing up the votes, then that's not your freedom to vote. So, I'm giving everybody in Wyandotte County who says that my vote does not matter, I'm giving you a way to make it matter. I'm giving you a way. There's only a couple of candidates that have not. Basically, they said, I believe my vote. I hope that they see this live and see the videos, the Star newspaper, and all of that, and reconsider, saying that, you know what, it was compromised. And my numbers could be the same, but truly we don't know. We don't know because there is some discrepancies. We don't know because Miss Louise Lynch posted the inside election where from our Secretary of State's whole Kansas City area, or Kansas, the whole state of Kansas uses that system for their election offices. She's not an employee. That right there shows that the election was compromised. And for that, I want a recount, a revote, or whatever. Really, it deserves a revote. Because it's approximately 100, it's between 113 and 129 total precincts here. Michael Abbott said there's one lady that goes to every one of those precincts and picks up all of the ballots. I got an issue with that. And again, I want to know who that is. Because if she is, and it's a lady, because he said a lady, and she is linked to any kind of groups, yeah, I don't trust nobody to be bipartisan or not to worry about it. I don't. It should be always some type of policy in place to protect things like that, because that right there shows that there's a chance for bias. There's a chance that she's like, ooh, I can't stand her, and throw mine out the window. Or whoever's married. I want to shout out to Miss Bass, and I hope that she gets to see this video. I'm going to try to share it to her thing. Miss Bass, I'm coming to talk to you. And I know that whoever it is, they can see this just like you can, and I'm not scared of them. But I'm coming to have a conversation with you, because the way you said that you were approached about running for office is all the way off. I'm gonna leave it there. Just know that I will be coming to speak with you, Miss Bass, and it will be soon, because I want to know. And Miss Bass, I'm gonna say this: I've already complained up the wazoo, and I did not do it within the state of Kansas. Matter of fact, I didn't do it in just one state. I did it in several states, and I did it in several different layers. Do you understand? So I did a state level, fed level, all the way up. Even anybody who would listen, they're filing complaints. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and they're doing it from out of town. Because what they're saying is basically what that guy with the synopsis is saying. They're saying that if they mess with this local election, what's to say that Sharice Davis actually won? Or how we know that Barbara Boyer didn't actually win? Yeah. I don't believe nothing no more. I ain't gonna lie. I don't believe anything I don't know. The last race that looked solid was 2015. They had a race in 2015, and whoever did those numbers were impeccable. They put down everything. I mean everything in 2015. And they did it race by race. And it was awesome. Whoever did the 2015 races, kudos to you. Those numbers matched almost exactly in every race, down to the total amount of ballots cast. After that, I don't know what happened. Because 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019, even though they are all not municipal, even though they're not all municipal, they all have some questions. I hope Sharice Davis see it. I hope that who ran against her, I believe her name is Andrea or something like that. It begins with some A's. I hope that they see this video. So y'all share this video. Tag some people in this video, because when you shine a light on it, it moves faster. The Star paper will probably be reaching back out tomorrow, so I can probably go through and tidy up or whatever and rebuttal some things. They're going to do the story in parts now because of so many candidates involved. So many candidates have come forward and said, hey, this wasn't right. Thank y'all for finally coming forward. And I know it's scary. It is. Especially the way these people make it seem like the boogeyman is hiding out somewhere waiting to come and chop you up as soon as you say something or speak out about these people. And I'm not saying that it might not or might, if it is or isn't true. All I'm saying is I'm not going to live my life wondering if they coming. No, I'm going to do what's right and know that God has me. I'm just not. Those men who own a big old chunk of Kansas, I still question that. Like, how do y'all own that much of Wyandotte or of Kansas? Because it wasn't only in Wyandotte County. One man owned up a whole bunch of Leawood and all of that. The other man almost owned my whole area, at least the businesses in it, starting from 50th Street all the way out to 126th Street. Stopped over at the Woodlands. Oh no, it came down to 38th Street because he owned, actually, yeah, he owned 730 State Avenue. He owned 5311 State Avenue. He owns the Bank of America on 38th Street. So pretty much just the middle of the map. I would say more like Gronemann's area in BPU. Just straight up the map. Straight up the middle he owns. Sounds like Mr. Jeff Bryant might have been talking about somebody like that. Maybe, maybe not. I believe so. If it ain't him, it's somebody like him. Because who else would be able to run a city who is not the city manager or the mayor? Well, it could be some big old commercial men who got a lot of money and a lot of property. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. If, in fact, those men own that property like I say they did, and like Google or whoever Reese said, it stands to reason that that's why we didn't get in office. Because I'm sure that they had said, because he owns the Woodlands. Amazon's supposed to go to the Woodlands. I don't know if they still going to the Woodlands, but because they're building that thing right there on 72nd. But he owns a lot of stuff there, so maybe they had some plans. I'm twisting my hair, y'all. Maybe they had some plans to build some other stuff, and we were getting in the way of that, because I'm telling you right now, I was not planning on building anything unless it was in Indian Springs. And I was going to fight for some type of water park, water pool, something for the families. Because parents want to go swim with their kids. Parents want to go and watch their kids. And they don't want to burn up sitting on the side of a fence watching their kids in a pool. So I wanted to do something like that, and it would be an attraction and bring money to the city right there. I know on your way to San Antonio, Texas, they have that big old tall water splash thing, and they make a lot of money there just because people passing by going to other areas will stop there. People going on vacation will stop there. So I think that would bring in some really good money. Watch one of them try to use my idea, by the way. Anyway, I ain't worried about it, though. If it's for Wyandotte County, get it done. But you know, you heard it here first. That it would bring in money, especially a nice water park right there. And since it is a spring and the ground keeps on dipping and all of that, especially when it rains, I mean, it would just be ideal to turn it into what it is, water. It's supposed to be water there. So with that being said, I think that was the only thing I ever had plans on building, because I feel like 8th District had a lot of things in there. Now, as far as opening up some of the little shut down shops like off of Leavenworth Road, 50 something, or 50, right there by the Family Dollar and the strip mall, 5960th and Leavenworth Road. I wanted to open that up and get some businesses in there, some little shops in there, boutiques for the ladies, stuff like that, where they get earrings or body butters or whatever it is, something like that. Maybe a sit-down restaurant over there. I mean, it's a whole lot of things that you could get done in that area that would bring money to the area. Now, it is some restaurants about to go over there. A new pizza place is not the normal one from here. I believe it's coming from Shawnee or something like that. I'm not sure. I was at the Leavenworth Road Association when I got that one. I'm thinking, yeah, I want to make sure that I don't have to hop back on here and tell y'all nothing. I want to say hello to Miss Murgia. Ooh. I want to say hello to Miss Murgia. Thank you for all your support. Thank the other people who supported me as well. Mr. King, Mary Girl, Ned Kelly, Lisa Yeager has been supportive, and I don't just mean like in this. She's been supportive throughout. Melvin Williams has been somewhat supportive as he can. I think he didn't want to end up in our shoes, but again, I think our shoes are going to turn out better than their shoes, because we stood and fought for the community, and the community will remember that. We stood and fought for our votes, and the community will remember that. They will also remember that other candidates did not back us. Other candidates did not step up, even though they had reason to believe that something was wrong. They just wanted to let it go, and that's fine. You have your choice. Do not jump on my gravy train. Do not jump on my gravy train. Don't call me, hey, how you doing? None of that. Don't do it because it wasn't easy at first. It wasn't easy at first because everybody around me was like, except for Mary and Lisa, a couple of people, were like, keep going, especially the community. The community was the ones who especially said keep going. And with that being said, that's what kept me strong enough to say, I don't care what y'all say. I got proof and I'm going to go. I absolutely was not going to concede, y'all. I'm sorry. I'd have to know that those votes were legal, valid, and actually what the people wanted before I would ever try to concede to anybody. I don't care who it is. I will let y'all know if I decide to support anybody in a district as it pertains to the commissioner's seat. I will not support a mayor at all. I won't support either one of those because either one of those are the same thing that we've had for the last 4, 8, 10, 12 years. They can say whatever they want to say, but Tyrone, yeah, no. I will not support a mayor. Actually, I think I'm about down to supporting David Haley and Brian Matlock. I think those are the only ones left on the ballot. Melvin Williams might get my support this time. I have not figured out yet where he stands at with the groups of people who were involved. So, and when I figure that out, then I'll be able to tell y'all if I will support or not. At this point, I'm not supporting anybody but the 2 people that I've already said that I would. I almost wanted to support Miss Jane Philbrook. But I realized that was kind of going back on what I said about getting the comments out. But it comes down to who knows what to do. I don't want to put nobody in who has to learn for the first 2 years what to do. I don't. Because whoever took the seat needs to know what to do when the feet hit the ground. They should hit the ground running. And I don't mean just pop some ideas in your head and not really know what's going on, what the issues are. You know something about what you done heard this race, but you really don't know what's going on here. And so I doubt if I would support anything in that race. I'm a woman of my word, and even though it is with hesitation, you should write in Benel's name. However, I will support Miss Towers because I'm a woman of my word, and I asked her to run in 2019. And I told her I would support her because, hands down, she showed the most knowledge of that position. And I'm going to always pick who is best for the position, not who I like or dislike or whatever, but who is best for the position and will do the best for the community. And I'm going to say the ones left in this race, it would have to be Miss Towers because Mr. Soptic dang sure not going to do nothing for this community. And again, y'all should get that court case, Zamora, Zamora, Zamora versus the Unified Government of Wyandotte County, and read about Mr. Soptic and some of his co-workers. And then you will understand why he could never get my support. Well, that and that jacked up grin he had standing outside of that baby jail, yeah, I'm good. I can never be happy about babies being in jail. Never, not that happy. Not that happy. Who else is on this ballot? Miss Morales. I don't know what happened in Mike Kane's race because I didn't get to meet. Well, I talked to Miss Chin on the phone, and she was a little bit standoffish, and rightfully so because you really don't know who's in here. But at the same time, we haven't seen her or Miss Morales as anything. Just like one of the BPU contestants. And it was funny that David Haley said, he was like, I'm going to have to support Mary Gonzalez because I'm not going to support a ghost. And He said she almost my age. And I don't even know who she is. So it's a good reason. I call that reasonable doubt. That's reasonable doubt that she got 3,000 votes. And she got 3,000 votes as of... Oh, I want y'all to know that they put out a new election, sheet. It's still unofficial. It's still unofficial, I guess, until the 16th. But the numbers change. I now have 122. Mary got 1,900. Miss Wick got 1,800. Alvy and Tyrone moved a little bit. Mr. Duffy did not move at all. That's how you know they mad at them. They real mad at them. His number didn't move at all. He was still at the same number. They always try to get God's people. Always. And I truly believe that man loves the Lord. Because when he was threatened with that sword, he told him, you need to find Jesus. Literally. And I don't blame him, but I think I'd have had something special for Mr. Mackey if he'd have said something about a sword with me. I'm just going to be real. You can't take stuff like that lightly, especially when you have kids. Mr. Mackey, you would have had some problems, and probably I would have pressed charges to the full if we wouldn't have been singing our Fly Away. You cannot just go around here threatening people's lives like that. And thank goodness Mr. Duffy was a good man enough to ignore your ignorance, because that was truly ignorant. Truly. To threaten that man, chop off his head, I believe, with the sword. Because he thought he was kin to somebody at BPU, I believe. Is what the video said. These people are sick, like literally. Like where he's actually a representative in Bonner Springs already. And you out here threatening whole lives. And I heard that the whole Republican Party was a witness to it, knows about it, and all of that. And I don't mean the Republican Party. I mean the chairs, the second chairs, the secretaries. Yes. I believe it's the 3rd District ones that heard Mr. Mackey acting a fool like that. The 3rd District Republicans, starting from the chair down. I mean, if y'all can Google them, but if not, y'all just, reach out to me. I'll show y'all some pictures of it. But, like, how do y'all know that? And then, instead of putting Mr. Mackey out, they put the Duffys out of their group. Now, I did not know that Mr. Duffy was a Republican, nor do I care, for real, because I believe he's a good guy. So, with that being said, how did y'all put him out and not Mr. Mackey? It goes to show you where your mindset is. And it ain't for the people. It is not for the people. Yeah, I'm twisting my hair because it's like gotten wet and it's just tangled and nappy. Anyway, I'm going to get off here, y'all. If you have any questions, feel free to call me, message me, email me. I enjoy my little talks with y'all and stuff like this about this stuff, because I really want y'all to know what I know. And it's not because I'm trying to just shine a light. I want y'all to be educated on whatever happens here, because you're supposed to be privy to all the information that is supposed to be public knowledge. And we know that they hide that, especially as it pertains to our dollars. Well, in office or out of office, I'm going to make sure I hold them accountable for our dollars. I want to know where they are. Before y'all make a deal, I want to read them contracts. Yes. You might want to find me a board to get on, because otherwise, I'm just going to be sitting up at City Hall waiting to see you. Hey, how you doing? Mayor? Got something to talk about. I'm going to get on y'all nerves until y'all do what's right. I'm going to get on your nerves. I will see y'all tomorrow, because I'm sure that I'll get all kind of phone calls tomorrow and some type of updates. If not, then I might not see y'all. I might just get on here and say hello. But I should receive some phone calls tomorrow, and when I do, you guys will know what I know. Until then, good night. And I'm starting me some type of, I don't know if it's gonna be a news show like this, or if I'm gonna do it on a newspaper, and not even a real newspaper, but like one of those two-sided sheets. And we're going to talk about real stuff like the FTC. Oh, I'm sorry. His name is somebody Hatton or something. You know who I'm talking to. It was about the pilot. Now, he said that the pilot is nothing egregious going on with the pilot. Well, let me explain something to you, because evidently you missed my other lives. And I pray, matter of fact, I'm going to tag you in it when we leave up out of here. Let me see if I can find you while I'm doing this, because you, sir, probably need to know this more than anybody else. So the pilot fee. The pilot fee is a FTC, Federal Trade Commission guideline, that gives a municipality permission to set in motion. I'm sorry, I'm trying to invite Mr. Hatton or whatever, to set in motion a pilot fee only in the event that we are having an emergency. Now the examples given were like California's fire, the water mains break and half of the community has no water, a tornado hits, and and we have people out of their homes. Then we can apply that to the bill. And guess what? There's a shut-off date of 10 years. Not 20, not 15, not 60, but 10 years is all that is supposed to be on there. So when you say it's nothing egregious, sir, I would beg to differ, because if it's not supposed to be on there past 10 years and it's a federal guideline, why is it still on there? Y'all don't respect the feds. Y'all don't respect nobody. Y'all don't do what y'all supposed to do at our city hall, literally, because there's no way, unless they got permission from a certain set of feds or whatever to do it. I mean, I just want to know what it is that gave y'all the right, or gave y'all the what was it that set in motion? Like, what emergency set in motion for y'all to even put it on there in the first place? That's what I really want to know. And then after you cannot explain that to me, my next thing I want to know is, how do we get our refund? And I won't wait on y'all to answer that for real, because y'all not good at answering stuff like that. I believe it's Hadley knowing he might be on my other page, but anyway, it's not supposed to be over there. It's not supposed to be on there more than 10 years. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to only be on there in the event of emergencies. Like something happened to our people. I want to know what happened in 2006 that made y'all put it on our bill in the first place. I've put in my request, and of course they have not answered them. But again, I'm going to keep on getting on your nerves until you do the right thing. Y'all lied and said that it was for funding the police department. Then it was for the skating rink. Then it was for pavement, infrastructure, and light poles. I mean, that pilot fee has been for everything. I've heard all kind of excuses in 2 years. So, now I know what it is. But I want to know what was the emergency situation that's set in motion for you to have permission to put that on our bill. And then I want to know what keeps it on our bill past the due date, because it's supposed to be a 10-year shutoff, no more than 10 years. Why? It's going on 16. It's going on 16, and people are tired of paying it. If y'all don't know where to get the money from, do some lemonade stands or something. What you call it? Legalize marijuana. That's where everybody else, all the other states are getting money from. It's a whole bunch of other alternatives you can do without making the citizens into slaves, because that's just what y'all have done. Now, I said I was gone, but I'm really gone now. I'll see y'all later, and good night.